Hi everyone, it's Jen from Mind's Eye, and this is a holistic review. So basically, what we're gonna do is the way that everything started. Usually, I have a loop running for my intro, but it's just one of those nights where you just can't get it together. So when I'm seeing this holistic review, you can't even see it coming whatsoever. So basically, what happens is that when you see it, you just can't do. So when I look at it and I go, what is actually true? You can't even do it hard enough whatsoever. All right, so let's look at the tarot. Here we go. There's something about with this holistic community this week that is like have to do your like own intuition. You have to do everything your own. And when you see it, you actually have to say, you can't even like secure it, but there is more securement. This whatever run through happened was so good that you just can't destroy it. But then I hear what actually ran through that community, because there's a lot still on the table and you just can't even see it. So when I see it and I actually go, there's something about nasty masculine energy still that you can't get anything done toward a goal whatsoever. So when I actually look at it and I say there was some weakness on the table, it has to do with contracts. Like I have said in the past, it is this palliative care. It is this symptom management. It is like nutrient dense food. It is like target specific on everything and like tailored to the person. That's really hard to actually merge again with holistic community, which is the big community hospitals. It is the FDA, the CDC. So when you actually go to the doctor and they say, yeah, you can take your vitamins and you can seek that out, what is actually on the table? It really means there's like insurance denials. But with this going on, you just have to use your intuition. You hear there's like a lot of interference all of a sudden. So when I look at this and I say, you really need to like end a lot of things, I say that's usually their first sign with this community. They'll go right into the doctor or they'll go into a place, and then you have to say, you can't even believe anything whatsoever. This has like stone cold apathy. They'll walk right in and they'll say, I can't even believe this happened. I can't even believe this happened. So here we go. What is good coming through this week? I see that it actually has to do a ton of things. A ton of things. And you go, what is actually going on? So when I actually looked and you go, you can't even believe it. This Six of Cups, this has happened before. It's popping off. It's popping off. When I see what actually happens with healthcare, when we have so many major incidences happening, everything goes into like a type of lockdown. So with the insurance denials and all of it, how are you going to pay for Reiki? How are you going to pay for everything? It really is out of pocket. So when you see this Eight of Swords, it's almost like hostage like. So there is no judgment at it at times. But then you go, the moon. it's meant to be like mysterious. And you're like, this is really stupid. This is really stupid. How do you get this done? This is almost a really topsy turvy roundabout. What do we need to know? This energy is really odd. Really odd. They want more holistic. They want more everything. What is this mineral deal that's on the table? It's not really foreseen, this mineral deal. It is to like solidify something. When I see the Father of Swords, which is the King of Swords, and it's a reverse, there was something about like any type of contract, and we have to say, is this about the tariffs or anything like that? I don't see tariffs. I see a hint of it, but I also see the Nine of Swords, and you can't even see it. You just can't even see it at all. Now, this Five of Wands actually goes back to like Father Guard, and Father Guard actually means that there's something about it. When you see the Lover's card, though, you see that it actually has to come through. This marriage, this contract, these tariffs, these like crackdowns, these like hard stipulations on regulations and policies, procedures, and protocols, because whatever happened in the last 3 to 4 years, where it's actually still showing in the public in many ways with slew and onslaught and anything like that, that this Three of Cups comes through, and you just can't even celebrate anything. Like you can't even get together. So when I see the Five of Cups go in reverse, it is an alleviation of a loss. And when I see, this Six of Wands, it is a victory. But where is a victory for the holistic community? Because we're talking about the farmers markets. We're talking about the holistic centers. We're talking about everything that goes through that you just can't even understand at all. It's really not the beginning that they wanted, because they had so much hope, especially with a second term with President Trump in. When I see this and I see the Eight of Cups in reverse, it really is a contentment order. It really is. So what is true? With everything that actually happens in the community, with crime and like personal lives or anything else, and that people make bad decisions, and when some bad decisions came through over the last probably 30 years, you have to say, like, it really is hard even to get a medical card for medical marijuana, and that you actually have to look at everything as it comes through, because is it pure or is it not, and what is your history of use, if you have history of use. So when I see the Son of Cups, which is the Page of Cups, it really is good. It's a young offer. But when I see the Father of Pentacles, which is the King of Pentacles in reverse, is this greed? Is this greed on the table too? Because there's no balance. We're looking at people in the community, all forms of whatever they're using as alternative methods of healing, and they're tripping. There's like eyes wide. There's something not right. So when I see it and I go, you can't even believe, like it just flew right into your mouth, you have to say, with the anti-Semitism, what else is going on? Is this political towards healthcare again? So when I see this and I see the Magician, you got to work everything about yourself. Everything about yourself. The Star is, there's something about a wish fulfilled. It still keeps going for this community. Within this next week, it's still going. Like, put it on the table and like give a good contract, get a good offer. Because when I see this and I see the Seven of Cups, it's like, look at all these options and what we can do. Well, can you be creative and can you mix and match and mishmash? Because this Daughter of Cups, which really is like the Knight of Cups, it comes in with a rush of emotions, like, oh my God, like maybe I can. But then it looks like you gotta actually heal by yourself. You literally gotta heal by yourself when you use these alternative methods of healing. So when I look at it and I say, this Six of Pentacles in reverse, there is no deal. It's really hard to solidify. But the Father of Wands means in reverse, there's no honor. And so I say, well, how can there be no honor in that? How can there be no honor? So let's dig a little bit deeper. Something actually will come in. It usually is. It's usually it's a Thursday with a coin, like a coin. And then when you actually see it, you go, this Five of Swords is like this sword right in the soil. And when you dig at it after these fires, you go, what can the holistic community do to help those who, like, all of a sudden, like, I got denied on my protonics. I got denied on something else. So when I look at this and I say 10 of Wands, it's something about alleviating a burden. I am seeing chiropractic. I am seeing naturopath. I am seeing homeopath. I'm not seeing Reiki. I want to say, and I hear, nope, not even on the table, not even a consideration. So when I hear that and I go, yeah, it really is a mix. You can't even do. You just can't even do. So when you actually see this and you go Six of Wands in reverse, no victory. Again, it is so hard to make it more mainstream again. But why would they take it off the table? Palliative care. So let's actually talk about hospice and how all of hospice is, in theorem, palliative care, but palliative care is not hospice. So let's look at the Starseed Oracle. There is something that's on this table for this community, and it says, I'm sorry, defenselessness, righting past wrongs, and uprooting. It's a huge change. When you actually see it come through, you say, thank you, because I actually was blocked and censored from my business. So when I see it and I says, loosen your grip, coping mechanisms, density, addiction, and let God in, what is the parameters? So basically all you need to know is that the parameters for a medical card for medical marijuana must be known. You must divulge to a specific practitioner. And even if you're using or have used CBD, to use it as directed, but also to they dig and they chisel away down to where they say it's this dose to this day, and so specific to where they say it really is depending on the root of how they take it, whether it's orally, sublingual, or even up to rectally, depending on how it is. But really, when you actually look at it, you go, is it really that intense? It is, because not everyone can smoke medical marijuana. Some people can vape it, but and most of the time, if they go to tincture, there's something else that was wrong with them. So when I see this, I see the void, stop, embrace the winter, the great cosmic moon. We already know what's on the table. We already know what the business deals are going to be in and what they're going to be talking about this week in this community. It's all about medical marijuana. It is potentially education on what's out there and what they've been using, and what are the medications that can go with it. So when I see this and I say all paths lead home, inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within, there's a huge knowing And then also a huge everything about making that patient the way they need to be. So, when you look at it and you say, I go back to my Reiki practitioner and I'm very specific about it on who it is because they already know them as a practitioner on how to align them, how to attune them, how to know if their chakras are on, how their diet is, even up to the color of their skin. So when they sit there and they say, you can't even believe it, like they already knew. Most of the time, a Reiki practitioner is going to read tarot or runes to see what else they need to draw out. Whether they're in the middle of the dark night of the soul, which means a criminal could be upon them, or they're doing their shadow work, trying to unlock themselves from whatever is locking them up. So let's actually look at a different everything. Because you just can't even get it DUNE some days. Here we go. Rider White Tarot. There it is. All right. Alleviation. I see a little bit more people coming out of the woodworks. We had to chisel away a little bit. A finality relief. There's something that will come through this week for this community that is a little bit hurtful. It wasn't the best of judgment with this judgment card in reverse. There has to be like something about no attunement. I bet you any money that there are some people who could not make it to their appointments. It really is a little bit more secure by a Thursday night to a Saturday, like all during the day. But there's breaking of partnerships also still. When you say it and you go, the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, there is loss of money. But really, it's all about healing. So when you actually look at it and you have difficult conversations with your patients and you talk about the mind, body, and soul and emotional health during this holistic community, it really is hard conversations and trying to draw out. That's why it takes multiple. That's why a lot of times those sessions are costly. So when you actually see it and you say, I have anxiety, you actually have to go, I can't even believe it. You can't even believe it. It feels like a thief in the night and a sword cut. But when I actually see it, this Four of Wands is like, I don't know why I keep looking down at Washington, D.C. at the beginning of the like the inauguration ball. There's something about it. Last two cards, you must use your intuition. You must use your instinct. You must use a little bit of psychic regard because it's going to take away, like retract. I keep hearing it's going to retract back if they don't do a deal. So with that being said, it's really hard to actually do a like apprenticeship and like working. You have to actually sit alone and you have to sit and you have to rest and they literally have to like meet. I don't know why that's coming through. I'm seeing a Tuesday, Thursday, and I don't know why I'm seeing like this on a wrap up on a Wednesday. Let's look at the runes and let's look at the crystal, and that will be it for this community today. It is a little bit better since they're getting out of cold and flu season, but it will get through. It will get through. All right. There's a lot of strength coming in this week. Again, it's Nadis. It really has to mean like a cutaway at some things for that community. When I see this, it really is paperwork is the best of luck in documentations. And that it has to do with actually focusing with their patients and their customers or whoever, however they identify those people who come in and see them. It's about like how they're focusing on everyone living the best that they can right now. So when I see this, wealth means they're just like using everything about themselves the best that they can. When I see this, it really has to go with flow when I'm seeing this room, not so much ulcer or trolling. And when I see this, and I have to say joy, there's like an alleviation of like nasty energy all of a sudden. And they do a well much better. Here we go. All is known of what's going on in the community because there's an uptick. So, and you hear like uptick, up Rick, and then literally up Samson, up some salt, Epsom salt, and then just be away from me. And then when you actually look at it and you go, you can't even see it coming whatsoever, and then you can't even be it. You go, you already know which practitioners to go through, even if you have to get it out and you're sitting with someone trying to meditate with you to see what else needs to come through. So, with that being said, any questions or concerns, leave a comment, an email, a like, and a share, and we'll talk to you soon.